Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lena. I'm a practical nutritionist and I'm happy you're here. Thank you. Don't forget to, if you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe, okay? So today we're going to talk about the difference between intuitive eating and the practical nutrition method, which of course is my method. And just so you guys know, my method was established over what I learned when I studied nutrition, what I learned when I studied health psychology, what I learned when I went through my own battles with food and dieting and back and forth and left and right to both ends of the extremes in nutrition, right? Full on dieting, counting, tracking, to full on intuitive approach, and where I landed. And of course, what I've learned with clients over the years. Before we get into that, I want to give you a brief summary of what intuitive eating is. We hear a lot about this online. Sometimes we think we know what it is, and sometimes we don't. It can get confusing. So let's just run through this together really quickly. So intuitive eating is a non-dieting approach to changing your eating habits. It has 10 principles that it follows. Number 1 is we reject the diet mentality. Number 2, honor your hunger. Number 3, make peace with food. Number 4, challenge the food police. Number 5, discover the satisfaction. Number 6, feel your fullness. Number 7, learning other coping mechanisms, coping with kindness, all that stuff. Number 8, respecting your body. 9 is finding more positive forms of movement. And 10, honor your health with gentle nutrition. Okay, so right off the bat, these sound like really great principles, right? Like there's nothing wrong with this. How could there ever be something wrong with this? Let's put that on hold for 1 second. Let's talk about the principles of my approach. So what is the practical nutrition method? Basically, it is gonna look different for everybody, just like intuitive eating is gonna look different for everybody, right? Every lasting and sustainable approach should look slightly different person to person, but practical nutrition is identifying your goals and then making solid and intentional nutrition decisions to help you hit those goals while still maintaining a very practical balance with food and a healthy, happy lifestyle built on food freedom and your other values and morals that are more important to you beyond food. So some of my basic principles of practical nutrition: identify your goals, right? So in intuitive eating, we don't have immediately, the first one is to reject diet culture, right? Reject weight loss, because that's not a part of intuitive eating. I want to be able to identify our goals, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, discover the balanced plate and find out what this means for you or what this looks like for you. Number 3, honor your hunger and your fullness. Number 4, all foods fit, and they always will. Food freedom is a big part of this. So we'll notice some repeat ones from intuitive eating because it does mold and shape a lot of what practical nutrition is. Identify the why. Okay, there's always a deeper why behind why you're eating. It's not just what you're eating, it's why you're eating it. 6, reject diet mentality, but not reality. Okay, so we do want to reject diet culture to some extent, right? We don't need to be dieting or beating ourselves up if we eat a carb, but at the same time, I don't want to reject reality, okay? Put that on hold for a second, we'll come back to it. Intentional eating is okay. Eating with intention. So in intuitive eating, they'll put gentle nutrition as the very last one, right? That's what you come to at the very end. I think it's 100% okay to implement intentional eating throughout the whole process. You're allowed to be intentional about your food. We'll get back to that. Structure and restraint is number 8, because again, there's a practical balance in all of this, and there's a right place for structure and restraint. And then number 9 is practical balance. So now let's just kind of like dissect all of this, okay? Here's my problems with intuitive eating, and I'm just gonna be really honest with you guys because I think we can all handle it, is the black and white extremes that we fall into on social media, just in general, in life these days. We're very polarizing in our beliefs, and I find that that's actually very detrimental to our ability to move forward together and to reach our goals together. Intuitive eating provides a very gentle approach to goals. It almost takes away your ability to ever have a physical goal. And my issue with that is that it seems unfair. And I know it's right for some people. And it's right for some people at different stages of their life. At one stage of my life, that may have been right for me, whereas another stage of my life, it's not right for me. And my problem with intuitive eating is it doesn't identify that gray area. And I think any approach or diet that doesn't identify the gray area isn't serving us because it doesn't allow us growth. Does that make sense? So for intuitive eating, I find it to be very black and white. And I find it to be very, there's a strict no weight loss, no physical goals. And that is just, it's a little too, like I said, a little too black and white for me, no gray area. So at the same time, if I am craving a donut, right? Intuitive eating would encourage a gentle nutrition approach to what I do about that. Do I go and immediately honor that craving? Is that what would feel best to me right now? Or do I go and save it for later at a time that it might feel better for me? Do I balance it into my meal? Whatever. Okay, great. So you have to get really in tune with how you feel. I want to bring some practicality to that. I want to ask the why behind it, right? If my client, for instance, has a weight loss goal, let's bring it to me. If I have a weight loss goal and I'm craving a donut, I know 110% I can have it. I can always have it. There's food freedom. That's part of the practical nutrition method, right? I can eat whatever I want, whenever I want. The question is what do I really want? If I have a weight loss goal of 5 pounds in 3 months, which I think is fair, right? Nothing unreasonable. And I'm doing it with intentional habits and behaviors. I haven't had much protein today. I haven't had well-balanced meals and I'm craving a donut. Is the right thing to do? Is that what I really want? Do I really want the donut because I'm craving it? Or do I really want to give myself a balanced, nourishing meal because weight loss is a very important goal to me, right? For my confidence, for my overall health and the way that I want to feel and all these different things. I probably would want both equally, but one stands out as an immediate desire where one is a desire that I can't see or feel. I can't feel or see my weight loss desire, but I can see and feel my immediate donut desire, right? Because you can see those things are up every day. Our weight loss goal is further back. We can't really see it in front of our face. It's not a physical thing we can touch and feel and go get in 5 minutes from the nearest grocery store. But our donut we can go get immediately. It brings that instant gratification. Intuitive eating wouldn't allow me to build restraint and understanding behind instant gratification and delayed gratification. But I'm an adult with a human-sized brain that's smart and capable. I put restraint on myself to spend in a way that makes me feel good, to spend in a way that maybe immediately it deprives me of immediate gratification, but it gives me delayed gratification, right? I have to put structure and restraint on myself. I can't ask myself how I feel about the way that I spend because I just have to do it. I can't ask myself how I feel about brushing my teeth. I just have to do it. And sometimes it's the same thing with food, right? I absolutely can have that donut, but I'm an adult and I don't get up and get what I want whenever I want it, right? I do the slow, steady things to help me achieve the goals that I desire. And I put restraint on myself just a little bit in order to get that. And again, I have a very flexible approach. So the donut absolutely can fit. And it's likely that if I was working with my client one-on-one, sitting here talking to them, we would have a discussion about how that donut could fit and the plan to make it fit this week or every week or every day if that's what they wanted. However, the point is intuitive eating wouldn't even give you that option. You wouldn't have the option to prioritize your goals or to give yourself structure and restraint because of your goals. You don't have that option, and that's a little bit of a bummer to me. I feel like that pulls away from our human ability to implement structure and restraint and decision making the way that we humans do, right? I think that's pretty cool, okay? And I don't like that intuitive eating pulls that away from us. I think it's a little bit, I think it's a little bit degrading. I feel like that's not fair. Like I'm capable, right, of structure and restraint and balance and moderation for a bigger goal. And if that bigger goal is weight loss, that's okay. And this is where reject diet mentality, but not reality comes in. Okay, so yes, I don't want to diet. I don't want to cut out carbs. That's not for me. It's not sustainable and it's not necessary, right? I don't want to count every calorie for the rest of my life. It's not me. I've tried it. It didn't work for me. It caused me to binge and restrict, and it just wasn't for me. That doesn't mean I'm going to reject reality. Calorie awareness is a tool. Knowledge is power. It's super helpful and beneficial, to be able to look at a meal and say, this only has 300 calories. This isn't going to keep me full for another 5 hours. Or to say, this has 800 calories, right? I just ate 2 other nourishing, balanced meals today and 2 great nourishing snacks. Maybe I can pull something away from here. Maybe I don't need all of this. Maybe I can have half. I'll check in halfway through to see if I'm done, right? Intuitive eating would completely reject our ability to have that knowledge. I feel like that's unfair, right? I don't want to ignore the reality. At the same time, if I have a weight loss goal because I'm a human and humans care about how they look and how they feel. I'm not saying that that is our driver. I'm saying we can't ignore it, right? Now, you can want to build healthy habits for everything unrelated to your body. We want confidence around food. We want to feel empowered by our food decisions. We don't want to have that back and forth battle. Should I eat this? Should I not? I'm so over that back and forth battle, right? So are my clients. We don't like that. We want confidence. We want freedom. We want happiness. We want to be able to go to a barbecue and not second guess it or have stress and anxiety around it. It's not all body related. I've had plenty of clients come to me unrelated to weight loss goals, wanting to improve their relationship with food, build confidence around food, have healthy habits around food, create a healthy lifestyle they stand behind. But as humans, if we care a little bit about the way that we look and we want to change that, I get it, right? And I feel like to say that people don't get it is unfair, or to say that caring about the way you look or wanting to change your body is wrong. That's unfair. It's human nature. It's human nature to want to feel confident in your body and love your body. And sometimes when we're not comfortable in our body, that confidence just isn't there. No matter how much time and money you spend finding clothes that fit your body and flatter your body and that you feel great in, that's great. But if you want to lose weight at the end of the day, you might want to lose weight at the end of the day. And that's reality, and that's okay. I do feel like intuitive eating ignores that a lot, and that takes the practicality out of this, right? So that's something else I want to talk about is intentional eating and how that is okay to change your body. So for instance, if I'm intuitive eating and I want to throw an avocado at my meal, okay? That's what I'm in the mood for. I want avocado toast. And I can pick between having a half an avocado or a whole avocado. I have a weight loss goal, okay? So I'm gonna choose a half of an avocado intentionally. I'm gonna intentionally pick a half because I have a weight loss goal. I think that would fit better into my day. I'll throw in an egg for some protein, but that's my intentionality behind that meal. Whereas intuitive eating, if you were to say, hey, I'm craving avocado toast. I really want it to be full of avocados. Go ahead and use the full one. Ignore any weight loss goals. But I feel like you get the best of both worlds in this practical balance with intentional eating. Even if it's because you have a weight loss goal. It's not restrictive, right? It's structure. And in every other element of our life, and the mindset switch that I got this from is Rachel Paul, Dr. Rachel Paul. She's a dietitian, and she's a college nutritionist across all of her channels. We implement structure in every single element of our lives. We don't let ourselves watch Netflix day and night. We don't let ourselves skip work. We don't let ourselves sleep through our alarms. We get up and we implement structure. And intuitive eating takes that normalcy away from food, right? Why do we implement structure in our lives? Why do I say I can't watch Netflix all day? Because I have a goal for my business to grow. So why do I say that I can't, or that maybe I don't want to have a full avocado on my avocado toast? Well, because I have a weight loss goal. So I'm going to do a half an avocado. How is that different? Do you see what I mean? Like, they can easily be the same. Now, of course, your mindset matters. And when we pull away food with a restrictive mindset, we fall into restrictive behaviors, and that's not healthy for us, right? So that's why so many different things about intuitive eating are good. But that's why so many things about intuitive eating are good. And there are things about balanced, practical nutrition with goals of weight loss or changing your body that can still be good. You don't have to lose one for the other. You can have both. And my problems with intuitive eating is that it rejects that possibility. Now, sometimes you do need to put weight loss on hold for a hot second to prioritize your relationship with food. Let's be real. We have to do that sometimes. You don't live in one black or white, right? We live in the gray area realistically in every part of our lives. And I think that's the majority of people. So trying to push intuitive eating on people almost feels like trying to push a diet on people. It almost feels like trying to push 10 principles on someone or 10 rules on someone, right? It's eerily close to what dieting and the rules behind dieting feels like. So it's something that I want you to consider. So in conclusion, the biggest difference between intuitive eating and the practical nutrition method is that one rejects the ability of weight loss and intentional eating for that, and the other one doesn't. Otherwise, they're really similar. We got food freedom. We don't have food rules. We learn to love other parts of our body and to cope with other tools beyond food. We understand the why behind why we're eating, but as a human, it's normal and it's okay. And you have a right to want to eat intentionally for your goals. And that's that. All right. I would love to hear your thoughts on this below. I'm taking any and all YouTube video requests in the comments below as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.